Hi everyone, it's me, Kylie. So it has been a little bit, but I just wanted to come on here and say hi. I am holding this microphone today because my boom stand, I have to do something to it. There's like an attachment it's stuck to it. So today I'm holding this microphone. It is New Year's Day as of the time I'm sitting down and filming this, which is very exciting. Happy New Year's to everybody. So how was your 2021? I feel like my 2021 was like literally the worst. Well, that's not true. It wasn't the worst. I think a lot more terrible things could have happened. I did take the year after being laid off almost a whole year ago for the first time in my life to just really reflect on myself and what I want out of life and just setting boundaries. Thank you for sticking with me while I deal with that. I'm going to take my glasses off because they keep slipping in my face. Reading wise, I didn't really do a lot this year. I read one book in January of 2021 and I rated it 5 stars at the time, but I've since changed it to 4 stars. It must have been really good, but I really don't remember it. And I think that's just a me thing. And that was, I think it was King and the Dragonflies by Kacen Callender. I don't genuinely remember, so it's not really fair to be assessing that. Now that that's kind of over, I do want to just go into how my reading year was in 2021. So like I mentioned, I did read the one book in January, but then I pretty much took a complete hiatus and I didn't really pick anything up until like this last September. I did try a couple times, but I just clearly was not in the headspace to stick with it. But I did start reading again consistently in September. And by the end of the year, I was able to finish 22 different works of reading. And I will quickly go over what those ratings were for you. So I ended up rating 6 out of those 5 stars. I rated 4 books at 4.5 stars, 7 books as 4 stars, 2 books as 3.5 stars, another 2 books as 3 stars. And then no books were 2.5 stars. And I did 1 book that was just like a solid 2 stars. And then there were no books as a 1.5 or 1 star. As a quick disclaimer, as I start to get into titles, I'm not really going to talk about what the books are about. I'm just mostly going to read to you what I read and what I enjoyed. I will go ahead in the description box. I will list like Goodreads links to those books. If it's not on Goodreads, I'll list a different link. But that way, in case you see a title that like intrigues you or a book cover that intrigues you, you can go ahead and look further into that yourself. I certainly can do a more in-depth video about that, so just let me know. But for today, I'm not really going to be talking about the books. It's just more about how my year went and what I want to do next year. The books that I rated 5 stars, I will just go ahead and list them. I do have my notes here. My absolute favorite read of the whole year was Junji Ito's Cat Diary. And that's so wonderful. Check it out if you love cats. But then I read Paper Girls. That's the graphic novel by Brian K. Vaughan. I think it's Vaughan. Volumes 2 and 3 were great. I did not get to read 4, 5, and 6, but that is what I want to include next year. Or this year, I guess. So weird. But I really, really, really liked 2 and 3. I liked all of the ones that I read, but 2 and 3 were better than the first one in my opinion. And then I did read also the first 3 volumes of Heartstopper by Alice Oseman. I have read the first one before, but I reread it this year, and I have the 4th one that just came out on hold at the library, but they're still processing it. But I love those. All of those got 5 stars, and I'm sure that the 4th one will as well. As far as my least favorite books, those would be my 2-star and my 3-star books. My 2-star book that I read was recently, and it was called Olga by Bernard Schlink. Just wasn't for me, but 2 stars. And then my 3-star books, I read the first volume of Fence by C.S. Pacat, and then Our Prison's Obsolete by Angela Y. Davis. Those are my 2 3-star books. I can definitely go into more details on why those were rated kind of like middle ground and lower ground for me, but as of right now, that's where we are at. Of course, I will go ahead and just slap on the screen everything else in between for you. For 2022, I do just want to continue working on that personal development of mine, and just continue to set those boundaries in my everyday life. I do want to upload more consistently on YouTube again. It took me a minute to really like determine if that's what I truly wanted to do, and I have decided that that's what I want to do. I want to do it in a way that is more true to myself and not be so caught up with all of the trends. Trends can be fine sometimes, but like I find that on BookTube sometimes, and this is not something people like to talk about, but I find sometimes people get really caught up in the trends and they kind of lose themselves in like this video production, which funnily enough is actually what I enjoy about YouTube, is the video production. I just didn't enjoy what I was producing. So I would like to come back to YouTube and just do what I want to do, I guess. One thing that I want to try to bring back and continue to work on is community review videos. I did one community review video in the past, and that was on Miracle Creek by Angie Kim, and it was so much fun. Like, it was probably the most fun I've ever had on a video, and I would like to continue that in sort of like a series like format. It's not really, they're just videos, but to me in my head it makes sense to lay it out like in a season 1 with like a few episodes in the season 2. I think that'll just help me like pace that out. I would like to get 4, 5, 6, 7, probably like 6 or 7 videos out over the year, and then reevaluate that, but they do take a lot of time, so it's not something that I could do like weekly or anything like that. But they will be essentially reviews of a book, but in a more broader discussion with more people within the community. I think it would be really fun to even have people like collaborate with me on that, maybe do like a Zoom call, but that is certainly up in the air right now. I really want to do that, so definitely keep an eye out for that. I'm thinking about having the first one be on Chouette by Claire Oshetsky. The problem I'm running into that is there's not very many people who've talked about it online, other than in like on Goodreads reviews, but nothing on YouTube. So if you have read it and you would like to be involved with that, feel free to reach out to me. I have my socials down below. You can get a hold of me on Goodreads, on Twitter, on Instagram. I have my email, so just reach out. I would be really happy to do that. You can also leave other recommendations too if you'd like to see that discussion on a different book on a more broad scale spectrum. I also am starting like this little like book club thing with my friend. It's not really a book club because it's just like me and my friend, but we'll be reading The Rook and just like kind of like either calling weekly or meeting up weekly. I don't know if that'll stick, but I really hope that it does, because that would be really fun. As far as what my plans are reading wise for 2022, I have a couple things in mind. So I recently went through my books, okay? Because since I moved a year ago, my books have been fairly out of sight, out of mind, but I went through them recently and I kind of like pulled out the stuff that I would like to prioritize over this year and possibly next year, because I don't think I can get through all of them this year. And I have them stacked on a table and I'm just calling it the stack. So I'm going to try to work through the stack over this year. I want to read 36 books this year. It doesn't have to be 36, but like about 3 books a month. And I'd like to aim for like 50% of that to be from the stack. So I can show you the stack, but I'm really not going to like go over every single book. And again, I might make just like a video dedicated to the stack. So this is the stack. This is kind of such a weird like angle, but I'm in like a different room, but like this is the stack. There's 3 different stacks here. There's a whole bunch of books here about various different subjects. So, like I said, if you would like me to go through that in a more detailed video, I totally can. And then maybe like if you've read something, you can give me like suggestions about it. I do want to just quickly tell you, because I don't have like major plans on exactly like the whole year about what specific titles I want to read, but I am currently in the middle of a few books that I'm trying to get through. I have some of them print books and some of them not. I just moved over a little bit to give myself some editing space after I'm done filming. So right now I have The Guilt Trip by Sandy Jones, and that is just an audiobook that I have from my library, which is going to take like number one priority because I think it's due on January 4th, but it's not super long, so I do want to get that done. Right after that, I do have to finish up Summer Suns by Lee Mandello. That is also an audiobook, but it's on Scribd, so it can wait a little bit. But I did start that in November, and I set that down in favor of House of Leaves by Marcy Danielewski, which I did not finish either because it's a lot. So I'll read Summer Suns, and then after that I will dedicate my time to finish up House of Leaves. I think that'll be like the main goals for January. And then if there is time in January, I would like to pick up the Collected Schizophrenias by Esme Weijing Wang, which is a book from the stack. And then I'm also just going to slowly work on The Rook by Daniel O'Malley, which is the first book that is selected for my little book club thing I have with my friend. He picked it out, not me, so we'll see how that goes. I think that wraps up everything, to be honest with you. So we'll see how that goes. And I will catch you in the next one. I apparently didn't charge my camera, so I should probably wrap this up right now and charge that. But I look forward to more videos, and I am so happy to see you stick around if you've stuck around for my absence, and you have a good one, and Happy New Year. Stay safe, warm, and healthy. Bye!